Hi there. So my name is Christopher Porter. I am in Professor Phillips's Management 350 course that is in the fall quarter of 2019. And I ended up choosing Driven Studio Inc. as my certified B company to do this project on. So today I will be going over kind of a little bit about the company, going over, the overview, introducing the company, and then some topics of human relations, communications, intercultural relations, ethics, and some of the barriers I've had to cross, and then kind of just going over the conclusion of everything put together.
There are some things so precious, things that when we start losing them, we have no choice but to wake up.
You look at the Capitol right now, and it's surrounded by scaffolding. When you build an edifice, you have to constantly maintain it. Well, we're building a democracy here, and we have to constantly maintain it.
In communities of color, it is sometimes impossible to vote. So what happens? People get discouraged, and by getting discouraged, they don't vote.
We need to have a democracy that represents everyone.
50 people are responsible for half of all the super PAC contributions.
Who are these big donors? They are overwhelmingly white, rich, older, and male. They do not reflect the diversity of this beautiful country.
I grew up in the gas fields and the coal mines of rural Illinois. And when I asked my grandmother why there wasn't more conversation about these issues, she said, silence is the sound of money talking.
We've come to this hallowed mall to say to America, there's an awakening happening.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
There's two sources of power in the world. One is money, which they have, and the other is people, which we have.
When was the last time you saw this many groups coming together with this much energy, with this much diversity? This is a great moment.
We're saying fix the Voting Rights Act, and we're saying you got to overturn Citizens United.
I know that the only thing stronger than money is huge numbers of people working together.
It's a crucial time and potentially a turning point in our country where we, as the majority of citizens in this country, can stand up for our rights and say enough is enough.
We all deserve to have a voice. We're all human. We're all people. You know, that's our privilege. That's our honor. That's our right to have that.
So first I'll start off with just a kind of basic overview of Driven Studio Incorporated. Essentially what they do is they're in the business of storytelling. So they work for, capturing these stories that last a lifetime through their work and being able to support kind of these other B companies, certified B companies like Ben & Jerry's and Cabot and some other ones that I'll mention later. And what they do is kind of advocate for this being a B corporation, as far as like reduced inequality, lower levels of poverty, a healthy environment, and just overall stronger communities, and bringing this together through videography, photography, and the use of kind of a sense of a healthy marketing and being able to reach out to companies that allow them to advocate for the same cause, which is kind of what got me interested in the company, in how they have their own kind of mission statement of, promoting a healthier type of society and accepting the social responsibility and working with other companies and incorporating that all together. And so in this video that I'll post next it kind of shows how they worked with Ben and Jerry's in kind of aligning their mission with theirs. So with that video, a little introduction about Driven Studio Inc. They are a graphic design firm that focus on storytelling through videography, photography, and graphic design. Typically working for a good majority of certified B corporations and kind of pushing their message that aligns with their message. They're also located in Burlington, Vermont, so that's just a little on their background side. When it comes to the human relations theory, I kind of broke down the theory, McGregor's theory X and theory Y. I guess it's kind of safe to say that theory X is essentially the exact opposite that anyone would want within a company, because I mean, no one wants people that dislike work or not ambitious, always needing someone to direct them, don't seek any type of responsibilities, and they need to have this type of threatening punishment in order to achieve any type of like higher productivity. So that's exactly what Driven Studio is not about. I think this is kind of like a worst case scenario, and they are totally theory Y in that under the right conditions, that work can come kind of naturally, and it doesn't really feel like a job anymore. It's something more and something greater that they can look forward to and being able to kind of dive into and digest, as far as like a team that, you know, workers are super ambitious, they're self-motivated, and then feel a sense of like reward through all their accomplishments. So for the communications theory, some of the main things that I wanted to focus on was teamwork and how heavily the company relies on each individual in order to make kind of like a greater purpose for the company and being able to deliver that message of positivity to others in their community. Time and distance comes into play as far as like the logistics sides of it, being able to deliver products and services at an exceptional rate, which has kind of gotten them their larger clients, which they've seen the most success in. And this can have a huge impact on their success overall if this is not taken seriously. You know, the faster they can deliver, the better it is. So if they can deliver fast, good quality products and services, that's only going to benefit them in the long run. The sense of like communication culture. They definitely foster this foundation of communication and kind of explain how it's just a key aspect of their business and just any successful relationship in general, whether it's professional or personal. They highly express this through the media they use and kind of like the overall marketing, you know, getting as kind of personal as they possibly can, which is a little bit different to see, and I definitely like their take on that. So for intercultural relations, I kind of focused on just their barriers. One of their main barriers is just companies that may or may not have the same messages that align with them. And that seems to be their biggest barrier when they have companies that may be a little too radical or, you know, politically, religiously involved. So I guess the main thing for overcoming these barriers is they don't do business with them. They typically stick to certified B companies only, and that's, you know, going through their portfolio and kind of doing a little bit of research on what they do is they typically stick to that. So that's something interesting to see. As far as ethics go, I mean, essentially it boils down for utilitarianism is the greatest number of people benefiting from a single action, kind of like a ripple effect for what they do as a company. And they always reach out to people in need, supporting the local economy, to offering jobs to help poverty levels, and doing all they can just to make an overall better community for, you know, around them. So this type of veil of ignorance and categorical imperative is something that kind of doesn't apply to them. For they don't really let any type of like financial or political power influence them as, for the barriers. And that's kind of what everyone ends up having to deal with. But their decisions are pretty much solely based off of the message that other companies deliver, and that, it matches with theirs and what they want to be doing, which is pretty much just positivity overall in general. So conclusion, they really do a great job at storytelling and being able to align their motives and their vision, business statement, whatever you want to call it, with these other companies that share similar interest in positivity movements as like a social responsibility. They're overall just promoting a healthy society, and I think more companies need to take a look at what, Driven Studio Inc. is doing. And so that's my conclusion, wrapping up my presentation. I appreciate you watching and listening. Thank you.